Chauncey, how did you feel about the looks you guys generated offensively tonight?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I thought we did a pretty good job of generating some looks. Obviously couldn't make a three, but I thought the quality of a lot of the shots were pretty good. It's one of those things, especially when you're not making threes and it becomes a long rebound and now they off to the races a little bit. It makes it a little tough, but by and large, I thought it was pretty good.
Do you like where you're at with the volume on the threes?
I'm really not concerned as most people about the volume. Like, I just want us to take good ones. And I don't care if one night if it's 50 or the next night is 32. That don't bother me. More concerned with the quality of the shots, So there'll be a lot of high volume nights, But yeah, I just want good ones.
Just personally, what are the things that the team cleaned up from last matchup, and what are the things that the team still trapping in there?
Well, the thing that jumps off, off the board is obviously the turnovers. We go into halftime and they had already had 21 points, I think, off of our turnovers, and it just makes it tough. I mean, that team is already so difficult to guard in the half court, and then you turn it over and give them easy. It just you make it very difficult for yourself, when you turn the basketball over. I thought our rebounding was pretty good for the most part. Offensive rebounds were really good, but defensively I thought wasn't bad. But taking care of that ball is, it's going to be a big deal. For us, we playing faster, so you got to bake some of that into it. You're going to turn over a little bit more, but we got to be better there.
What were you seeing? What were you seeing from that small ball lineup that made them so effective for stretches?
Yes, it's a good lineup for us. It gives us a lot of versatility. It keeps you out of the rotations, for the most part defensively, because you're switching a lot of stuff and you're switching with good size, and we can do a good job, and we have just rebounding the ball in those lineups. We can create some advantages on the other side.
You like what you saw out of Donovan tonight? It seemed like this was the most comfortable he was so far in preseason.
Yeah, DC was good. He was really good everywhere tonight. Obviously, 15 and 11. It's a big night for him, but he didn't block a shot. I didn't like that. But yeah, I thought he had a good game.
What do you like about what you're seeing from Hansen in the screen and DHO game?
Yeah. Hansen is doing a good job, especially on teams that, they kind of at the level, kind of blitz if we can get him the ball in that short roll. I mean, you trust his decision making and his playmaking there. But not only on that, teams that even playing a drop, he's doing a pretty good job of reading, the coverage, catching the ball with some patience, and letting the progression kind of happen, the check down kind of happen. He's already doing a pretty good job with that.
How would you assess where Denny's at right now?
I think Denny is. He this is kind of he has his moments out there, careless with the ball, a little too careless. But Denny is he's an attacking player, so he will turn it over some. But I think he's still trying to find his rhythm on his shot. He's still kind of working himself into NBA, if you will, kind of shape.
He wasn't able to play much in September, right? He kind of took a break after Eurobasket.
Yeah, zero. Yeah, not at all.
Going back to Hansen, are you at some point going to try to draw up more plays for him? I mean, there are times when he's out there and he's wide open and it's like you should get him the ball. They don't. Is that something you're going to try to work on at some point?
I've already done that. I've drawn up some plays for him after timeouts, just to kind of get him playmaking a little bit. So I already started that.
It seems like the best version of you guys, and it seems like something you've done in those ATOs that you mentioned, is get Denny and Shea catches on the move. I know the idea is to sort of have movement in this offense, but how much is the emphasis to get them going, like catches where they're not in triple threat, not like standing still?
You're saying like on the move?
Yeah, you called one early in the first quarter where it's like Denny gets a screen on the outside and catches it, like getting downhill and kind of sort of maybe organically creating some space for him. Is that like how much of that is just part of this new offensive look to get him going with that wide open middle?
Yeah, we like to get those dudes the ball attacking, and it's best to do it on the move and fast, which you don't allow defense to kind of set and directional, make you go a different way. You kind of get them on the move. So it's a part of it. We're still kind of learning it at the same time. But, yeah, I think, it's an advantage for us to be able to get, in particular, those couple guys downhill. And then it becomes, you got to make the proper reads when you get there. But it's all a process.
You were frustrated with the turnovers, you said. Was that them making plays? Was that them not handling the break, or just a variety of stuff? What I guess displeased you about that?
Yeah, I'm always frustrated with carelessness, careless turnovers. Like, if you make a turnover and you're trying to do something, make the right play, or something just happened, like, I'm okay with those. But just the carelessness, jumping in the air, trying to find a pass, just throwing it, just things like that. Are the turnovers that bother me.
Coach, what do you make of Hanson's communication with the team so far in the huddle or on the floor as he adjusts to new culture and new language?
Yeah, he's doing good, as good as he can. It's a long way to go there. It's really, really important in this league for the fives to be very vocal because they're pretty much in every action. They're in every pick and roll or teams try to pick on fives, so that position being very vocal is critical, I'm trying to teach our guys, even though the coverage is, say he's calling weak, I want the other 3 or 4 guys to be calling it as well and not just him, take a little pressure off of him, try to be fair to him. But I think he's doing a pretty good job, as good as he can. He's always thinking about it. I see him out there thinking it's difficult for him, but he's doing good.
Yeah, Coach, just tonight it really looked like Shaedon was locked in defensively, which is something you've challenged him multiple times last season. What do you see from him preseason-wise? Because it looks like he's come in locked in.
Yeah, I'm seeing just a high level of focus. I thought he was good and locked in defensively tonight, which is why I continue to challenge him with who I put him on. Started the game and I put Drew Holiday on Will Richard, as opposed you would think that, you put Drew on all their top guys, but I wanted to challenge Shaedon and put him on Podziemski early on, and he had Steph a little bit, he had Buddy, tough covers. But he's continued to stay focused, and I've been proud of that. You just continue to keep getting more and more confidence in him, to put him in different tough spots out there.